I did hit
We're
record.
recording.
We are recording. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Bingu and Choom and K-pop tunes. I'm Choom, I think.
Yeah.
I always, as I go to say it, I always
I don't
second
know
guess
why.
myself,
You do
and
that.
I don't either. Anyway, I'm Choom, also
I'm
known as Reina,
yeah.
and this is Lacey.
Also known as Bingu. I know who I am.
She likes to make
I
fun of
know
me.
what I stand for.
I'm glad you know. Someone, one of us needs to know. Like, one of us needs to have
This
our
is
shit
part of the
together.
reason maybe why we
It's
just
not
should
me.
do the intro thing anymore.
Stop.
Because we don't even know. How do we name
Stop the
ourselves and
intro.
we're
We
not
don't
even
even-
comfortable?
Well, it's hard because it's not even like I named myself Choom.
Oh,
You
so
named me Choom.
it's my
And then
fault.
I text you and you're Bingu. Yes, it's your fault.
Uh-huh.
You're Bingu and you're Bingu in my phone. Like you're not even you're under your name, but it pops up
Yeah,
as
your
Bingu with
name
a
is not
heart
your name.
still.
It's definitely Choom. With
So
emojis.
so I see Bingu more than I do Choom
I
like
understand what you're saying.
in text
I
form.
understand.
So I just second guess myself every time. Anyway, it's that time of the month. You know what time it
And
is.
it's
I hope.
the review time.
Yes,
And this time,
yes.
it's not.
The
This
list
is
is
not a
really
long
short.
list. So
Woo! No, it's not. We actually, like we said last episode, we're trying to get better at actually picking favorites for the month or discussion worthy songs for the month and not just like, oh my god, all of these songs are good. We need to talk about it. No, we narrowed it down
we're
this month.
trying our best.
So,
Okay.
we're trying our best. Be patient with us, but we did it.
I'm proud too. Like,
Mainly of myself because I made the
that's
list.
a good list. It's just good.
I exhibited self-control this time.
We'll see how this month goes. We'll see how October goes. Hopefully, everyone around us is also, chill. Nobody, like, it's not too crazy.
Not too crazy with comebacks. October always stresses me out in the past because it's like everybody wants to get their comebacks in before award seasons start.
All we can do is just hope.
And so far, I haven't seen any major announcements, but I'm like holding my breath.
I too will hold the breath.
Okay. Are you
Who do
ready
you want to talk about
to
first?
start? Onus, because they're on the top of the list. They're first. Most of this is in order, I think.
With same
Kind of.
scent.
Scent. Same scent. That. We did a music video reaction. And I think you guys kind of figured out if you've watched it by now. This episode actually might come out before the music video reaction. Who knows?
I mean, it probably will.
But anyway, watch the music video reaction. Watch the music video reaction because you'll be able to really tell how much we love the song, how much Lacey loves the music video. I think she was.
I like the
you were
music
a fan
video.
of the music video, like the transition.
The song
Yeah.
was 50-50. I didn't hate it, but it wasn't like.
See, I'm opposite for that. For me, the music video, in comparison to like the last music videos, was very just plain and normal and kind of standard. Visually, it was really pretty. It had some really cool transitions. They played with the lighting a lot. And so I was like, this is really cool to watch. But just like in comparison to like Onus's Luna and Lit and even No Diggity, even though No Diggity is like not my favorite of their comebacks, there was just so much more happening in those music videos that this one just kind of felt
No, I
plain.
get it. Yeah.
But the song I was a huge fan of. I still am listening to the song and the album because so
Like the music
good.
video. I don't like boring music videos, but I like tasteful videos, and this was just like pretty tasteful for me. Like it wasn't.
Yeah.
To me, it wasn't too boring to where we're just kind of just watching them dance in one scene. It's like you said that there's a lot of
Yeah.
there's a lot of good transitions, and there's a lot of good like lighting play that really worked well with this. That's why I liked it.
It made it
That's
interesting.
why I liked it.
No, it wasn't like a boring music video. It was just different, like plain in comparison to
And
their
literally
last
like any
ones.
other
But
K-pop groups that put out music videos.
probably for
Yeah.
this month, yeah, maybe. I don't know. It was still very visually
If you want to see people
enticing,
dance in
though. It
water,
was very
you
pretty.
should watch it.
And the contrast of the white room that they were in. They would dance in a white
Mm.
room as well, kind of like the SM box, but more
It looked
stylish. They
nice.
look a lot
It was
better.
nice. Nice room.
um, my favorite, yeah, nice room. We want it. One of my favorite parts of the song itself, though, was that it kind of had like a tropical synth, but it wasn't like the main focus of the song. So it felt very summery, even though summer's now over. So it was like a nice end of summer comeback. And then the song itself was more subdued. So I felt that it really showcased their vocals very well. And it was very smooth listening to their vocals. Like it all was just very like you could glide over the song.
Flowed really
It was
well.
just really nice to listen to. It's a very nice song. Yeah, it flowed really well.
I can't comment on the song.
So that's probably my favorite. I know, but that's my probably my favorite song of the comebacks for
Okay.
September. Sorry, I had to
Okay.
think. I think that's my favorite song. Like top
From the
favorite.
month.
Yeah, from the month.
I know
For
I'm thinking
me.
for myself. Hmm.
Oh, you don't have to. We don't have to do that. But I'm just
That's
telling the
how much of an
viewers like
impact
this
it
song
made.
this song, yes, it did make a huge impact. It made such an impact that I wanted to try for a video fan call and couldn't because I don't have an updated passport and my music taste never announced a video call.
One day.
So I was very sad. One day, someday, I don't know. I worked up all that courage to talk to someone other than Juhan, and now the courage is all gone.
Don't
I'm
lose
like, well,
it.
not doing that again.
You can still do it. You can still do it.
It's gonna need to build up courage again.
I believe in you. You can do it.
I'm glad somebody does.
Someone has to.
Okay. Someone has to. I'm glad it's you then. Cause I always feel your support.
Oh, that is so sweet. Oh my god. That's so sweet. Well, I don't have any comments on the song, so I don't want to waste anyone's time. Um,
Okay. We can move on to the next song on the list then, which is Choi Yu Jung's Sunflower PEL. I didn't realize the PEL was part of the
me
song when I
neither.
first
I was like,
listened.
are we sure?
um yeah, no, we're very sure, but I wasn't sure for a little while, to be honest, because I was like, what? What is PEL? And I still don't know what PEL stands for. So if anybody knows what PEL stands for.
I don't know. I was trying to think of like
Perfect every love. I don't know.
I don't
That's all
know
that came to
either.
mind. um, Choi Yu Jung is one of the members from Weki Meki, the
Hmm.
girl group, who they're not like my favorite girl group, but I like them. They've always really released catchy songs. So when I found out that she was going solo, I was like, yay! Especially because I feel like it always takes 5 years for Weki Meki to have a comeback. So I was like, I get content without having actual
Hmm.
group content.
What did you think of the song?
I liked the song. I thought it was also just like Onus, pretty subdued in its like tone, but for this song it really worked well because Yoojung has a very distinct vocal sound, and I thought that you could really hear like her voice in this song. It complemented her very well, and it gave me the like thought of wow, whoever put this song together must have been thinking of Yoojung at the time that they were like producing it, because it really like matched her overall vibe and aesthetic and her vocals really well. And it was catchy, it was groovy, and it kind of had like a little bit of a very, very subtle hip hoppy R&B
That's why I was
kind of
surprised I liked
flair.
the song.
Like early
Yeah.
R&B. It was just like nice.
Definitely early
You liked it though?
R&B. It's literally because of that aspect
Yeah.
that I like the song. Because if that wasn't there, it might be too poppy for me to like really enjoy.
Yeah.
And it's like you said, they used her vocals, so the song itself is very simple. And I don't know enough about her, but it was like it's the bass. It's that bass that's happening in the song and the I don't know what sound that is, but there's a lot of R&B sounds happening. Yeah.
Yeah. I think those sounds added in though added just the right amount of like flavor
Yeah.
that it needed to tie everything together and give it a little bit more of like that, like the song doesn't feel like it's missing anything, where sometimes there's songs that you're
I
like,
wish they did
"Oh,
more.
this is missing something." Yeah, I wish they did more. This was it. This was the more that was
Mhm.
needed for this song.
It was
It was really
nice. It's
good.
like really it's literally a balance of pop and like R&B, and I feel like if you went either way, it'd be too much of whatever that is. Like it wouldn't have fit her if it was too R&B, I feel like, just based off how this looks visually,
Yeah.
and like the pop matches it visually, and they're just like the hint of them riding like driving down that desert was also reminiscent of like Janet Jackson.
Yeah.
What song is that? Can't remember the song off the top of my head, but
I
you
don't
guys know.
I was going to
You
say
guys
I don't
know
know.
what song cuz she's driving she's that's classic. That's like a classic thing to do in an R&B music video. And it was very cute. Like I don't
It was
cute and
cute.
simplistic.
I liked very cute, very simplistic. The aesthetic of the video too, like you said, matched the
Mhm.
song really well. So I think that the music video went with the song as well. Like it was just everything about this comeback, or not comeback, the solo debut was very well
Yeah,
thought
I
out.
think this is a
I
good
feel like
solo debut.
I do too. And it was a very chill vibe matched with like the chillness of the music video. Like you said, the driving down the desert road. That was just like it gave off very
Mhm.
relaxing vibes.
Mhm.
Like watching it, it was very cute, very fun music video. The dancing was fun. It was like the nice end of summer
The
kind of
cardigan
feel.
she had.
It was another
I
yeah.
wanted the
That was cute.
cardigan.
That
I
fit
want the
her.
cardigan. I probably can't afford it,
The styling.
but I would like it.
Probably not. The styling too, yeah,
It
was
was
really
so bright
it was like
and
perfect.
poppy, like in comparison to where they were filming, which I thought was like
Yeah.
I don't know, it was just kind of random to me. Some of those spots that they were recording, like I feel like the themes didn't really match, but it wasn't. I don't think it was
Bad.
bad. It was just
No. It probably didn't match, but I think it just aesthetically was all
yeah,
very nice to
yeah.
watch still. Like it all just aesthetically
I
looked good
agree.
together. That is one that I recommend checking out though. That was one that I come back and like solo debut wise. I was like, I don't know what to expect about this. Like I don't know what I'm
Hmm.
getting into cuz I'd never really imagined any of the Weki Meki members going solo, and so I was like, I don't really know what I'm getting into. But I ended up really liking it. It was really good.
Good job.
Good job. So that's one I do recommend checking out because it was definitely worth it, and it was a surprise for me as a person that's not like a huge fan.
I don't know anything, but it was good. I
She's
just
like, I
liked
just
it.
liked it. um, Next song for the month on the list is June from 17. He had a solo work. I don't even know what to officially call it because it's
A solo
just like a performance,
performance.
I guess. Solo performance, yeah. Called
And wow.
Limbo. This is another, yeah. Oh, and wow. This is another one that we did a music video reaction to. So when that comes out and drops, please go check it out
It's
because
really good.
this was, it was really good. And this was a music video that we were both like not sure if we were gonna watch it, and then Lacey made the final decision of like, let's just do it. The thumbnail looks good enough that we should do it, and that was
It
totally worth
was.
it.
This song is
No
on
regrets
this
with
song is
that
on my
one.
playlist and I've been playing it ever since we watched the reaction. Um
Nice,
this was
nice.
also for me this month I can say that there's been a lot of songs where they're not how I expect them to be, which is really that's very fun to me. Where it starts out and you're
Yeah,
like, I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be something for me or if it's going to be like this sounds a little bit too tame for what I'm looking for. And there's just a lot of nice stuff happening throughout this music video and song that it is on my playlist. It's really really good. Like the
that's awesome
transition between
that it made it.
like being a ballad or like just singing and like rock in that transition that happens between it
Mhm.
is really it's really good. And watching that with the video is it just really heightens it
It's
really heightens like
perfect.
the song itself.
That yeah, the melody where it's like between the ballad and then all of a sudden the rock comes in, that complemented like when that happened in the song, I was so surprised, but that complemented everything really well and it really went with his voice cuz he has a higher pitched voice, which is something that I mentioned in our reaction. He has a higher pitched voice, but this was
It
like
worked.
everything, yeah, everything put together worked perfectly. Like I was so good. um, I really liked the rock
I liked both.
aspect of it. That just threw me. I mean, I liked both too, but that just threw me for a loop. Like I wasn't expecting it, and then all of a sudden I was like, "Whoa!" And it just went with his voice so well and was so good. And visually, it was a performance music video, so I wasn't like wowed by anything. But damn, some of his
He
outfits.
looked good.
He looked so good. Like
The all
the music
black
video, okay, it was
with
just
the
a dance.
stomach out.
It was just a dance performance. Yeah, but that all black outfit with
Mm-mm-mm.
the stomach out and then the gloves and then those female
Yeah.
dancers,
Yeah.
it was all perfect. It was so good. Like I
He
can't,
looked
we just
so
sound like we're repeating ourselves from
the
the
all black.
reaction.
You're dangerous. I don't know what else to say.
He was dangerous. Dangerous. That's another. I really liked how that the vibe of like the music video and the song went with like the dangerous. Like he's
He
alluring,
is.
but he's
Mhm.
dangerous, but he's hot. He's like
Like, who
sexy. It
is
was so
he? What does he
good.
stand for? I I'm ready to
What does he
risk
stand
it.
for? He's
I'm ready.
mysterious. I'm
I
ready.
don't know what's gonna happen. Is he gonna be my bias? Like, I don't care. Like, it's worth it. That's how I feel.
Ready to risk it all
Ready to
for
risk your bias
Legion
list
or
for it all.
Mage and
Like,
Tweet.
watch it because that's how you're gonna feel. So, I don't know
Yeah.
what else to say. Really good. I think
Yeah.
you guys
I
should
don't either. It
really
was
watch
really
it.
good.
And like this is a video where you said it is just like a performance video, but like I really like it
There was
when
an
there's something about when you know a vocalist and you just make the song for that vocalist where it just
yeah, this was
you're
one of
able to
those.
really listen to how it was put together. And you also have like the visual obviously, but it's not nothing is like really like the song is distracting but in a good way cuz you're trying to figure out what's going on with the music cuz you're already shaken by this isn't as slow as I thought it was going to be. And then it goes from rock to this R&B-esque pop and then it goes back and forth, but throughout the song it really it transforms. So that's why I really like that's why it's on my playlist cuz it's really good. Really really good. You just hear a little bit.
It keeps you
It's one of those
engaged.
songs where you hear something else that you didn't really point out before. And you're like, "Oh, that just I
Yeah.
noticed what you did there." But watch it.
It keeps you very engaged though. Like it's that kind of
Mhm.
song,
Mhm.
I feel like. Um but like yeah, I said that there's the music video really doesn't do anything, but I do think that it's still because he's part of the performance team for 17, so I still think it really fits him. And like you said, they were kind of more focused on the song and what the song does for him and what he as a vocalist can do for the song. And I do agree with the fact that like I do think whoever put the song together, another one of these, was also thinking of June when they made this song, or like thinking like, wow, this has to go to one of the 17 members. um but it was still very like visually appealing music video wise, so it wasn't like a boring music
Yeah.
video. Like the
You would
music video
know.
also kept
We
you
would tell you if it
engaged
was
because
boring. Like we would tell you it
it
was
wasn't boring. It was super pretty. All of his outfits and styling choices were wow. He looked so good, and just the colors of the music video, just everything went together really well, and like the contrast with the black and white
it's just
portions, it was really
before we
good.
go on. This is one of the reasons why like I really want to know the process of the song. Like I want to know who made it. I want to know the process through like did y'all really have him in mind when you made this? Like lyrically and just like producing? Cuz it works out
Yeah.
really well. Or was it one of the or like was it one of the things that you heard a beat and it was like being sold and you bought it and you just worked with it? Like I want to know that. Cuz if you like for you to just like if like what we're assuming that they really just made the song for him. That's really cool. Like I just that's
Is
what
this
it
what it
feels
feels like
like.
though? Yeah, that's how good the
Like
song is.
I want to
That it
know.
feels like that. So like so yeah, what was going on
That's my
behind the
question
scenes?
every
Because it
time
really feels
I
like
really
it.
like a song and I'm like I wish I was there. I wish I was just I just want to know what y'all did to get to where it is now. So, and we won't have that. I just want the
We won't have
impossible.
that. We'll never know.
But we can move on. I can talk about that in every
Okay.
song.
Well, next song. Yeah, we could. Um, next song is NCT
Two
127's Two
baddies. And
Baddies.
I think that two baddies stands for something else. So now that it's been like
Now that it's been
yeah,
some time
and I've
and
been
you've
thinking
had
about it.
some.
I'm like, this could be two somethings in a Porsche, and it's spicy. Hmm.
Mhm. And it's
This
spicy.
was another song, and yeah, it was another song where I was like, I don't think I'm gonna like this. I think I'm gonna hate it. I don't know. Like, and it wasn't. I don't hate it, but there is an aspect on this song I do not like. And it's the chorus. Like that chorus, it's
It's the
trash.
chorus for both of
It's
us.
I just when we did a music video reaction on this, and ever since then,
Yeah.
every time I listen to it, because this is also on my playlist, I'm like, what else could y'all have done to do a better chorus? And I don't have the answer because that if you just listen to the sound, the music, instead of like the lyrics, that part is really bland. So I don't know how they're gonna
It
yeah,
made
I don't know
it
how you
in.
could spice that up. I don't know. I'm not a producer. I don't write lyrics, but it's crazy I like the song because that chorus is not good at all. Like I don't like it. But everything else was
Yeah.
this other than the chorus being bad, everything about this song was it's also like I cannot describe what NCT does with their music, but I've mentioned that sometimes songs are a little bit overwhelming for me, like in terms of sound. But like I feel like NCT with the songs I like a lot of their songs. There's just so different there's so many different samples or just the way that they put music together is really interesting to me. Like the this song changes throughout. the entire like 4 minutes, however long this is. And there's different aspects to this where it's like it's crazy. And I talked about I sent you a message about time lapse or listening to their album.
Yeah.
Um Time lapse was produced by a well-known producer in the states, but like whoa is what I could say about NCT music or just in general. It's y'all have fun with your music is what I could say. Like you experiment with different sounds and you just put it out there and it works. And I don't know. I don't know.
That's always one reason that I've found it very surprising that
I
you like NCT
know.
so much, because you say that songs like this like kind of throw you out, but this is what they do. Like this is the concept that they debuted with, where it's like Monsta X debuted with noise music, made it popular, but NCT came out and took noise music and was like, this is what we're going to market ourselves as. And that's like their whole thing. They do noise music, they experiment with different styles within one song. You get like 3 or 4 different types of genres in one song. And so it's always been really surprising to me that you're like, yeah, NCT, cuz I'm
I
like,
know. I think
girl, they
about
do
it.
so much with their music.
I think about it all the time from the first time I've said it and didn't just like comparing that to now. That's why I like that opinions change over time. Like we never think the same.
Mhm.
And every time, especially with them, I'm like, why do I like the song? Cuz I don't think I would like it if someone else
If
did
someone
it.
else
And I
did
do
it.
think it has to do with their vocals for sure and the rap line. Like they they held on to me through the song because the rappers really did a great job with the song.
The rap portion was
It was
probably
very
my
strong.
favorite of the song, and I really the, like, beat of the song, I really enjoyed that their cadence at certain portions matched that beat, like, they were keeping in line with, like, what the backtracking sounded like, 'cause it just really it sounded very cool.
They
And you realize
yeah.
that too as they're doing it. You're like listening to it and you realize like, oh, this matches. Like, there's not even a missed beat here. It just flows so naturally. The raps were really good.
They really did that. I will say that. And then like halfway through the song, I don't know how the song transforms, but it makes it better. At least for the singers, how it just I don't know. I wish I had the answers. I really do.
I wish I
Like
had
if
the
you
answers.
really enjoyed this
It's
song, I
true.
think you're going to really enjoy the album. Like I think there's probably like 3 songs I don't really care for on that album, and it's because it's more ballady, but if you don't want to listen
For me, I've always discovered.
no, go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was gonna say for me, I've always discovered with NCT, if I don't like one of their title tracks, their B sides. There's always something on the album for
Yeah.
someone, because I don't not this Sticker. I didn't like Sticker, but that album, there were songs on there that I really enjoyed.
Mhm.
But that like title song, nope, not for me.
I will say that well, now that I'm like taking more notice of this, they have different producers for different songs and I can't remember his name off the top of my head, which is crazy. So I'm gonna look him up. NCT Pro. I can't believe I can't remember this guy's name. Producer. I'm just gonna look it up. I'm gonna cheat. Dim joints. The way SM has dim joints, they're just like no one can touch him. He is ours, and he will make music for us only and nobody else. From what I've seen, because the songs I really like is because he produced them. Um,
Yeah.
and he has done other groups in SM too, but it's probably because dim joints really he just does whatever he wants. It's like he experiments, but he always remembers to put in some aspect of like hip hop and R&B into his music. So it really works well with NCT. Um
Yeah.
and I don't know, like I don't know what it is with this group. I don't know, maybe they put drugs in the music, but I really enjoy. I've never had an album where I was like, this whole thing was terrible. Like I've never had that experience with NCT because it's like you said, you're gonna
No.
find something.
Something. I think there's always something cuz like I said, there's been some title songs that I've just not been a fan of. But when I go and I listen to the B-sides on the album, I there's always like a song or two that I'm like, "Man, I'm going to put this on repeat." Or, "Man, this is
Hmm.
going on my favorites." Or there's even songs where I'm like, "Why wasn't this the title song instead?" And then in my head I'm kind of like, "Well, this is a lot safer than what they usually do. Like there's no way SM would have them use this as a title
So y'all
song."
need to make time lapse as a music
But
video, like for me, because that song is amazing. Like that song is amazing. That's gonna be in my top 10 in the year. That's how much I've been playing it. Like it's
oh wow.
really
I still have to go listen to
when I first listened, I was like,
so I will
what's happening? That's I had to
What's
run it
happening?
back. I was only 30 seconds in and I had to run it back like 5 times. I'm like, this is
Oh my
crazy
god.
because it does not sound like what you think it's gonna be. And like vocally, it is so good. It is so good. I love that song.
I will
If you
have
don't
to
like
go
it,
listen.
that's fine. I'm not gonna be hurt about it. But that if you really love, I don't know, like that is just a really good example of you're really playing with music and it really works because I don't think I've heard something like that before. It's so different just based off what
Yeah.
like R&B is. Like I've never heard of that. That's how you can make it sound like that. What is she talking about? Listen to it. Give it a stream. If there's like I think it has like over a million plays. I'm the million. That's me. I'm getting the numbers up there. That's all me. And I'm proud of it. But visually, because we never talked about it visually. Wow.
No.
Great. Great music video.
Yeah, there was so many cool transitions in this entire thing that we were
Whoa.
both like, "Whoa," when we watched certain things cuz the transitions were
And not
so
only were the
good.
transitions really good, but they were so confident. And it was just like the little reactions that they were doing.
The
Yeah, like the
charisma.
little stuff they were doing. I was
Yeah,
like,
like the charisma.
you just really made that scene. It was like you had one shot and you
Yep.
killed it. That was it. Perfect.
The charisma that was just flowing through the screen was really perfect. It was a
Hmm.
fun music video to watch. Very SM like standard, not much going on, but there was actually a lot going
There
on
was a
in this
lot
music
happening.
video. But it was just like obviously when I say that, it's like same scenes sort of thing. But like editing and just the visuals and the choreography, there was a lot
Yeah,
going on. But it
they're so
looked
good.
so good. They all looked
I
really
don't
good. And they looked like they were having
right.
fun too. So that was like another like it made it fun to
I think
watch.
I just at the point where I think I am like a really big fan. I'm just not. I don't like. I don't know where to. I'm just here. Like, wow, I really love this group, but don't ask about my bias because I don't know.
There's a lot
I
of
don't
members.
know.
There's a lot of members. I have 3 biases, so don't even worry
Like I'm not
about
gonna
it.
have an answer. I'm just like I really love everybody.
Don't even worry about it. They're a huge group. To narrow it down to one person as a bias didn't work for
Well,
me.
when I get to the point where I got like 3 people, I'll let you guys know. So watch it.
Um yes, definitely watch it. One thing I just want to add because I only kind of really agreed with Lacey cuz she was like, "Yeah." I also didn't like the chorus. It it like it started off, and with NCT I never know what to expect, so it started off and I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to think of the song, and then it got really good, and the synergy between the rappers and the vocalists, like that was my favorite aspect of the song, just where, and even if the rappers weren't rapping and they were singing or like just saying a line, the synergy between it and like the back and forth that they did, it just really
Mhm.
sounded so good. But the
It
chorus just, it there was like all this build up and I was like, it's
it
so
didn't end it
awesome, and
there.
then all of a
It
sudden it
just
just
went
fell. Yeah, it
literally,
just
that's
fell.
literally what it did. That is literally what it did.
It just fell into a pit, and I'm like,
Why?
why did this happen? How did this happen? How did you guys not have something
I
else to
don't
put
know.
in this
Yeah,
spot?
like,
So that's just what I wanted
I'm
to
glad
say
you said
about the
it.
song, but I really do like the song.
Yeah.
I really do like the song though. The chorus is still kind of but I like the song. I like every other aspect of the song enough that I like the song. The chorus is not enough to deter me, even though every time it comes, I'm like, oh, why?
Yeah.
Um, but I recommend it. Just yeah, but I do recommend it. Definitely go give it a listen. As Lacey said, go listen to the album. I have to listen to the album, but she apparently likes it enough that we all
Go
should just
listen
go
to it.
listen to the album.
I don't think I've hated an album
Def-
yet. Like, I think I've listened to pretty much all their albums, but I've liked a lot of their stuff. My playlist tells me I actually really love NCT.
NCT.
Based off what's on my playlist, they're
That's good
like,
though.
okay, you're like, you in here. So,
You're an N citizen. I think that's how you say it. Okay, ready
mhm,
for the next song? This one was newer and got added without us doing a music video reaction. Did you have a chance
I
to
did.
listen?
I listened to all of them.
You did? Okay, good. Did you
Who are we
like
talking
it?
about?
Oh, I didn't even realize. We're going down the list
I
on
just
the spreadsheet. I think you say it as
okay.
Bayo, B-O. I'm not sure.
I figured it
Featuring
was him.
Zico.
You were really excited.
Complex.
I was like, it's definitely Zico.
I am.
Like the Zico feature on here.
Well, I'm actually really I'm actually really excited because I liked the song more than I thought. I didn't know who this was, but I saw featuring Zico and I was like, whoa. But then I listened to the song and
You really liked it.
I was yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. I was like, whoa, this is cute. This is catchy. This is I don't know. It's just cute and it's catchy. It's very easy on the ears to listen to. And there was one portion of the song that after Zico's rap portion, which I also really liked because it was him rapping. He also threw in a block B mention. And then he like sang for a little bit at the end, which hearing his singing voice is always like I'm like,
That's
a,
my
a
man.
surprise. But then there was a but then there's a portion after it that he harmonizes in the back with the main singer, Bayo, I guess is how you say his name. And it just his voice being a little bit lower and Bayo's being like higher pitched, it just like added a
Harmonizing.
nice dynamic.
They were harmonizing really
Yeah,
well,
their harmonization. But it was like an opposite harmonization because they don't sound the same.
but it worked. It just sounds
I
good.
don't know how to explain
Yeah.
it, but it worked. Yeah, it did sound really
I
good.
I don't know what I don't know what I was expecting because I guess I was expecting something, but it was not this. I was like, okay, Zico's on here, so I wonder what this is about to sound like. And whoa, this is so poppy for rap. Um,
But it's like a groovy pop too. It's not just like poppy. It's like a
yeah, it
groovy.
is groovy pop. I didn't like it though.
Or
It
you
was
didn't.
too. This is too like it's too poppy for me. Um, it was good. I'm not playing it again. Like I'm not surprised you like
It was
I'm
good,
not
but
surprised that
not
you like
like
it. Like I get why you like it. I feel like it's more
it's just
I feel like it's more you than me. Like if that makes
yeah.
sense.
I like the upbeat songs like that though. And like especially when it's a subdued upbeat like this isn't something that's thrown in your
Yeah. Yeah.
face. very easy. Like I can put this on as background noise and I love that. Or like if I'm in the car, it's got just enough energy that on a long drive it'll keep me going, but also not like distract me from my
Yeah.
surroundings
I'm
and
just
that
not
sort
into
of
the
thing.
sound. It's not like I won't say I'm not into it.
That's fair.
'Cause that's not fair and it doesn't make sense if I'm really like thinking about it. I'm just not into it. Like I don't know what else to say. Yeah.
I can see how. The sound paired with his voice was a lot
I
higher
mean,
pitched
I
than I was
know.
expecting
I was
too. I
like,
was like,
"What?"
I
That's
was
what I'm
like,
saying. Like, I
"What?"
think
Oh.
I don't know what I was
I think
expecting
those 2
was
things
like it wasn't that at all. So it was like a good surprise. I was like, I didn't know. I don't know. Like I don't hear this
I think those 2
often from
things I think those 2 aspects though put together kind of explains like why it's not really
it's not me. Okay.
your
I
thing. Yeah, it's not you. But yeah, his
this is
voice,
really
I don't know what I was expecting cuz he's technically like a hip hop slash or not alternate indie artist, so I don't know what I was expecting, but when he started
like you
singing,
are
I was like,
high pitched
that
than
is
what I was
yeah,
really thought was
you
about to
are
come out your mouth.
seriously. But then it kind of became endearing as the song went
I
on because I
agree.
was like,
I
wow, he's so
agree. I was like, this is
cute.
different. And I don't
He was he was
he was
really
really cute.
cute.
I was like, I would like I would listen to more of his stuff, like his song, just to see
Yeah.
just to see what else he does.
Yeah, like
Cause I've never heard a rapper that like I don't think I've heard anyone that puts out a track like this. Like and you have that voice. Like I don't know.
and you have yeah. No, I'm curious too. I haven't had a chance to listen to any of the other stuff that he's put out, but I'm curious as well because one, he's like cute, like I said. He's very attractive. I kept looking at him
That's
and I
my
was like,
type.
dang. But then Zico appeared and I was like, okay. Yeah, like literally. Um, but his voice is just not what I was expecting. So it was just a pleasant
Did you
surprise.
understand the
The music
video?
video,
Genu-
did I
yes. Did
understand
you
it or
understand the music
did
video? Like genuine question.
what do you
Did
mean
you
by
get
understand?
what was the plot?
He's well, I didn't know what the plot was, but he works on some sort of movie set and there was a bunch of movie references. I think he was like an extra on the set and he just kept getting nervous and messing
Okay.
everything up.
Okay. I'm glad you saw that because I didn't
And then
really get it.
like at the end he got the
Okay, okay.
confidence and like everything ended up working out. I don't think yeah, that's how I took it. I don't really think he had like a crush
Okay.
on the girl or anything because they were
Right.
both actors.
I was confused. I just needed clarity because I was like, I don't. First of all, you guys don't even have the lyrics, the English lyrics up while I'm watching the video. So that's already like, I'm lost. I'm never going to figure it out. I'm not going to look up the lyrics right now. I'm going to try my best. And I was like, I don't really understand. But he's happy at the end. And that's good.
I think it was just a transition of him gaining confidence throughout because I never took it as like he was male lead, second lead, and the girl was there. I never took it as that. I just kind of like because they were all actors. It looked
No,
like,
that's fine. That's literally
and
fine.
there was a bunch of
I just
movie
wanted to
references.
understand because I gave up. I wasn't gonna do that anymore. But yeah, okay, Zico, just hopping in the random tracks. Let's keep it going. Him and J Hope.
Let's see. I love how versatile he is, though. Like he didn't look at this and say like, "No, this isn't what I don't usually do this." He was just like,
But
"Yeah,
I
sure."
don't know. I can see
I
him
love
doing
that.
this though. Like this doesn't seem
Yeah,
too.
I can see him doing it too. But I like that he's
Mhm.
versatile in that aspect. Like he
Like if
didn't.
I don't know. Like if they were in like a non K-pop rapper did this, I'd be like, why?
Zico is that
Yeah.
nice middle ground of he's a K-pop rapper, but he also spent time
Mhm.
underground
But it still wouldn't even
beforehand.
make
So
sense
he's
because if
like that nice
Jungkook
middle
just
ground
jumped
where you
in
can
here, I'd
pull
be
it
like,
off.
why? That wouldn't me. That wouldn't. No. Wouldn't match at
I wouldn't
all.
understand. um, what else? I was gonna say something. Oh, my favorite. Well, not my favorite part because I liked the whole song. It was cute, but the Block B reference that Zico rapped. He actually did the "Do you want to be Block B?" and he did the
Really?
little B sign, and I was just like, "Yeah, Block B crumbs,
I
Block
know
B
that reference.
crumbs." I was
I
so
know that
happy. I did. I did. I saw it and I was just like, oh.
And Zico was like, got him. That was for y'all.
He really did. He has us all wrapped around his finger. Just that was enough to make all of the BBC on Twitter come back alive.
I'm very happy for you
We all
guys. I
resurrected.
am.
Okay, ready for the last
Yeah, I
song?
am.
So this is
Hmm.
Chanmina featuring rapper Ash Island. Ash Island's fairly popular in Korea. Chanmina, though, this is her Korean debut. I actually, speaking of Block B, I got into her because she featured on one of the subunit Basters. She featured on one of their traps, and I was like, who is this? I'm curious. Or did she feature, or they featured on one of her things? I forget. But I was like, who is this? I'm curious. And so I actually got into her Japanese music. And she is actually half Korean, half Japanese.
Mm.
So she's fluent in Korean and finally decided to make a Korean debut. And this was it.
This,
And I was very pleased with it.
I liked it. Hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
There's one.
it's still pretty new to me, so I can't really like say too much about. I don't. It's a good mix of like rap and rock, and I don't know anything about her, but the
And
way it just went, not even just rock, it had like a retro aspect too. Like those three things were happening, and I
yeah.
was like, this is really interesting, and it worked. It really worked well for her.
If you liked this, I highly recommend checking out her Japanese music because this is like what she encompasses. She, like I called Zico versatile, but she's very versatile with her music. You get a lot of rap, you get a lot of hip hop, you get a lot of like the retro
Hmm.
indie vibes from her, and then you have pop. She has certain songs that are like more pop or more hip hop and rap. She like has a very wide array of sounds that she's covered. And so I felt when I listened to this, it was very pleasing because it felt like all of those things that she's known for in Japan were like meshed together, but it sounded really good and it felt like a very safe, like not safe because it still has her flair to it and style to it. Like when I listened, I was like, "Oh, this is
Hmm.
definitely her." But I think for the Korean audience, this was a very safe aspect of like, I'm going to go with these sounds to appeal to a newer audience that might not know me. But it still has her flair and personality in it. So as I was listening to it, I was like, this is her, while also like being for the Korean
I
audience.
didn't even know. Like, I don't know anything about her, but it
Eh,
does make me.
she's very
It makes me want to
multifaceted.
listen to her music.
Please do. I
It's
love
really
her.
good.
She's like one of my top Japanese
Okay.
artists. And I can't even call her like a J-pop artist or because like when I got into her in the Block B track, she was rapping, and I was like, "Who
Hmm.
is this lady?" Because it just sounded so good. I was just like, "Who is she?" And then it just kind of went from there. So I recommend her Japanese music. It's really, really good. She's very versatile. She's very
I'll
multifaceted,
give her a listen.
and
I'll give her a try. I mean,
I I suggest it. I approve if you end up listening, just even to listen. I also thought the feature with Ash Island was really good too. His like voice, the raspy voice that he has, matched really well with the overall vibe of the song and like the lyrics of the song too, because it's basically a love song about a toxic relationship,
mm,
and the vibe that they were both giving off just really
no,
matched
they worked really
very well.
good together.
It did. Their voices complemented each other, I
What
think.
did you think about the video?
And I like that the I was just gonna say, I like that there was a plot, kind of, to follow. I don't know. I didn't think anything in
Mm-hmm.
particular about it, but I liked that there was like a plot to follow, and you could kind of see them going through the different portions, or like not portions, different times of their
Mm-hmm.
relationship.
Yeah.
That's all.
I mean, it wasn't.
They
They're
both
both.
looked good. When I first saw him and I saw his hair half pulled back, I was like, "Who is he?" I knew who he was. I know Ash Island, but like that's not the Ash Island I
That was
know.
so
So I was like,
nice.
"What? Who is this?"
It was good.
The tattoos kind of
Oh,
threw me
those
off,
aren't
though.
his. Well, I guess they're not. Are they his?
I don't know if they are
Mm,
actually, but they were just so random on his neck that I was like, "Who is this?" But the half pulled back hair, like the half
yeah.
ponytail he had going on
It
with the
looked good.
bangs, he looked good. Yeah, it looked good. He pulled it off really well.
I I get the music video. It wasn't really anything like this is her debut, so
Yeah. But this is also like in line with music videos that she releases in Japan too. So it wasn't anything that I was like disappointed in. It's just there wasn't a lot going on for me to talk about it. I do think it was
mhm.
directed really well. Like it just for what the song was and what the lyrics were, I think that the music video went in line with that really well. And I do think it was directed really well and thought out.
Yeah.
But there wasn't like a lot for me to be like, ooh, pretty transitions, that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's it. I
That's
don't know.
it.
Nothing else, isn't it so?
I recommend.
Isn't that crazy?
I know. That's actually the end of the list too, you guys.
That's it.
That's you should be proud of it. That's it. You should be proud of us. Definitely highly recommend for both you, Lacey, and the listeners though. If you guys don't know Chanmina, check her out. She featured on a song with Taeyeon, I
Mhm.
believe, as well. So like she's kind of making like pushing her
She
way
getting
into
in
the
there.
Korean market. So if yeah, so if you don't like any of her Japanese stuff, you can at least check out some of her features with like I'm pretty sure it was Taeyeon. But that is the end of the September comeback list and the songs that made our top choices
Is
of
there
the
one with
month.
that we missed?
Let,
Probably.
well, clearly, these were our top choices, but let us know what your top choices were. If you think there was one that should have been on the list, just if you guys have been listening long enough, you probably know our like styles now and songs that we like. So let us know if you think there should have been one that was on the list. Let us know what your top
Did you
choices
listen
were.
to any of the albums
And
from these artists?
Lacey wants to talk about
We need to
NCT's
do a
album, so
breakdown of the album. We need to pick it apart, really get in there. No, we don't. That's we really don't. I do that with me, my own time. I'm not doing that with y'all. It
that had
would.
to take forever.
So,
But yeah, that's it. Let us know what you thought of the September comebacks. Are there any in October that you're looking forward to? And make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share the episodes. And we'll see you next
bye.
time. Bye.